Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono's here, about to give you a Clash Royale video. In this video, we're going to start off by showing off some of the replays and some of the lineups that I actually use here. So, we're going to try and show off some of the replays. Looks like they have a time frame. Actually, here we go. So, we have a few replays to share. So, in our first balloon, or in our first raid, we had balloons going at it. So, HollywoodShono's going up against Seva. So here we have a Giant and a P.E.K.K.A available, a mini P.E.K.K.A. So he throws his P.E.K.K.A out along with a Witch. And on the right-hand side we have a Giant. And we put a P.E.K.K.A. Actually, that was an onslaught. That was something that just got manhandled. So now a Giant on the archers. We use a artillery archer, and we also have a wall breaker to help take out that tower. So one of my towers is gone. And 9 health left. We don't actually get that tower, unfortunately. So again, he puts out a Giant. And we have a Prince and a Balloon. This is the first time we've actually used a Balloon in a raid. So the Prince comes in, and that building is going to get destroyed basically right away. So now he's going to charge at the King's fortress there. And there's the Balloon. Hitting for like 600 damage. And we also get the mini P.E.K.K.A out, and down goes that base for the victory in our first little replay. And like usual, we taunt at the end of a victory. So HollywoodShono's with his first 3-star replay for YouTube. So now we have a second replay, Domination, here. And we're going up against Troll Kings. So we have a Prince and a P.E.K.K.A available. And we also throw out the Goblin Spearheart. Now the significant thing about this is unchallenged, the Spearman will actually get a lot of value out. So here we throw out a P.E.K.K.A to deal with the Prince and the Giant. And we're at 5 mana. So we throw out a Giant on the right-hand side, a P.E.K.K.A's on the left-hand side. And the Knight gets taken out really quick there. So we have a P.E.K.K.A, we have some Spear Chuckers, we have a Wall Breaker taken on the right side. P.E.K.K.A doesn't last too long without a tank. So down goes the first tower. And now we have a Prince charging in. About 500 damage there. So now we got Giants. All those Spear Chuckers went uncontested, and HollywoodShono's had no competition there. So Troll Kings got destroyed. So now our third replay, we kind of fucked around with a rush deck. Now this is kind of a longer fight. So right away we get out that Spear Tower again. So Army of Skeletons comes out. And we have some Skeletons along with the Prince on the left side. First tower quickly goes down. Archer to the arrows take out all the skeletons. So now it's a Giant after the one tower. So the Prince goes down. A bunch of goblins and Spear Chuckers out trying to go after the Royal Guard there. So he gets the first star. Valkyrie comes out to take out all of those troops. We have a Giant and a Wall Breaker going after the main hunt. Here we throw out the Lancer, the Prince. Takes out the Giant. Thank you, Aisel Villafane, for the follow. Dynamic Dude 96 on Instagram. Appreciate you. Now we have a Prince on the right side. We have a Wall Breaker along with some Skeletons. Wall Breaker putting in some work. So down goes the second building. Now a horde of Skeletons down. Trying to make a last push along with a Witch. So we use the arrows to thin them out. And now the Witch. And there's the Domination. Another 3-star attack by HollywoodShono's. And we have another hilarious Zerg win here. Against P.E.K.K.A. We only have 2 5 drops in this deck. Most of the other troops are 2 and 3. We even have a 1-drop in here too. We also have the bomb tower, so I guess that's not true. So we have a couple towers out. Spirit Chucker going after the minions. Big fireball on all the towers there. And some arrows to try to take out that goblin hut. So now we have a tombstone, so there's a bunch of buildings just producing garbage. Spirit Chucker getting some value on that skeleton. And out is a mini P.E.K.K.A from the opponent. Now we got a 1-drop skeleton with the Prince. And some minions out to challenge the Prince. The opponent gets one of the towers down, and we throw out a wall breaker, and P.E.K.K.A just destroys it like nothing. Now both of the towers and a skeletal tombstone on that P.E.K.K.A taking it down. We got some minions and a dragon. Little mini dragon. Archer to take out those skeletons. Well placed there. So down goes the baby dragon. And a fireball to try to take out the 2 buildings. And we have another Prince to get this first tower. Bunch of skeletons. They're in the P.E.K.K.A and the Lancer, but skeletons help take out the P.E.K.K.A. And now charging at the main base. Now the minions out again. We got some more spearheads and a wall breaker. Only the spearmen can take out the minions, and the minions do some work there. Minions are a decent flying troop. So I'm going to throw out another graveyard. Throw out some skeletons. So now he puts a bomb tower, which cannot actually hit the defenses. So spews more arrows. I have another Prince. So now we make another push on the base. That witch gets destroyed. However, throws out a couple skeletons. That bomb takes out some of the stuff and throws a fireball on there. So now we throw out the spear tower right near the base. So they are getting some value there. A wall breaker out, and now we throw our own arrows. And down goes the opponent's base as HollywoodShono gets another 3-star, kind of just throwing a bunch of towers out there. So not the best attack against P.E.K.K.A, but we got the job done. Next up, we're going to show the replay from Richard Rahl against Chi-Town Kings. So Richard Rahl, for anybody who's curious, is Chad Scott from Green Bay. One of my good friends. So it's good to have him in the same clan as me. So he has that spearhead as well. Giants obviously cannot hit troops, so that P.E.K.K.A is going to have to do some work. And now a bunch of little goblins. As well as a knight. So that giant is taking a lot of damage. Archer well placed there to take out the P.E.K.K.A. So those spear goblins doing a lot of work. And that arrow by the opponent does wonders. It takes out all the spearheads. So now a musketeer. Horde of skeletons along with a giant. That was bad placement there. The spear chuckers taking out the horde of skeletons. That giant is getting down a lot. Now we have a bunch of spear chuckers out. And that P.E.K.K.A just gets destroyed. However, the giant goes down. Those spearheads are going to put in some work, and that wall breaker is out. Big fireball takes out most of the spear chuckers. And because he has it actually not in the corner, I actually have a little bit of time to get there before there. So now the knight is out. 2 more shots will take out that defense. And that knight getting distracted by the giant. And puts out his own level 3 knight. And level 2 giant. Now it looks like he's going to put out another hut. This time he puts it all the way in the corner. Horde of skeletons out again to deal with that giant. And that's where wall breakers are really good. You can also use the flying dragon too. And that won't get touched by the skeletons. So arrows down the spear chuckers, throws out more spear chuckers. And since he has the one area, he can actually plant his troops farther into the base than the opponent. That's a huge deal. So now the musketeer is out. There's his own musketeer along with a giant. The musketeer getting distracted, wall breaker doing some work there. And those skeletons will get destroyed by the wall breaker. Horde of arrows both ways. That takes out a lot of stuff. So 33 seconds ago, Richard Rahl is going to need a little bit more of a push to actually win this fight, although he is defending quite well. Out is the mini P.E.K.K.A, and that's just going to lay waste to those spear chuckers. Big fireball takes out a lot of the troops there. So by having the fireball and the arrows, allow them to clean up a lot of the smaller troops. And this is why I like having a couple bigger units, because you can't fireball P.E.K.K.As, you can't arrow P.E.K.K.As. They're going to get some work in. So 3 seconds left, and unfortunately Richard Rahl is not going to get the victory here. But he does get the 1-star win. So in our next replay, we have balloons and a P.E.K.K.A just doing ridiculous work. So we obviously wait for 9 elixir, because that's what we need for a P.E.K.K.A and the balloon. So he puts out a giant on the left side along with a horde of skeleton. We throw out a P.E.K.K.A and a balloon. Now watch this ridiculous carnage here. So the P.E.K.K.A lining up on that defense. Balloon says, fuck you. Down goes the first tower, and the P.E.K.K.A doing some work here, and both defenses on the balloon, so they're just shredding that base. Huge value, and they didn't even get the 1-stars. HollywoodShono dominates that raid using a P.E.K.K.A and a balloon and some minions at the very end. No chance in hell of winning that fight. Now we have a replay. This is kind of a closer fight. This is the first replay that we use the Skeleton King. The interesting thing about the Skeleton King is it's not as tanky as the Giant. However, the after effect is really good for clearing out small troops. And it can even take out some mediocre troops here. So we get the Skeleton King out along with the minions and a wall breaker, and now more minions. Now watch this bomb damage. 1,217. Down to 497. Thank you, Dylan Smith, for the follow on Instagram. Appreciate you as well. Wallersman 0515 liking my post. A lot of traffic from the new Injustice Gods Among Us videos as well. So it throws out a witch. We have a giant and a balloon, so we're going to wait for 10 mana to actually do anything. Here we're kind of waiting for the troops to just kind of get out of the way. Now we throw a giant down along with a balloon. Keep in mind, both go after defenses only. And that balloon is going to shred that defense. Down goes the first base by HollywoodShono. So the witch is still up, but it doesn't have a whole lot of health. I think it has like 500. And that balloon putting some work in on the crown tower. And Prince comes into play. And we throw out a Prince of our own, met with a P.E.K.K.A. This is definitely a turning point in the fight as he gets the first star. And thank you, Road2. Please follow him for the follow on Instagram as well. We're getting a lot of traffic on Instagram. Awesome stuff. So the P.E.K.K.A takes out some troops there, but gets taken out. Nice defensive play there by Lacto. Now we got another Skeleton King. We're only at 924 health on the main base, so minions coming in to try to deal with that. So that bomb puts this thing at 37 health. Basically no chance of surviving. We throw a balloon down. And the balloon gets the victory. 434 health on my base, and that was enough to get the job done. So HollywoodShono definitely dominated in Clash Royale, and currently we are at 766 trophies. We're almost ready to do Arena 3. And for anybody curious, our clan name is HollywoodShono, just like my name on YouTube. So if you're looking for a place to hang out, go to HollywoodShono. I'd love to have more people in the game, and current favorite card is the Prince. Even though I think that's not true. I think I like the Giants, although Princes are more offensive for sure. So if you like this video on HollywoodShono's debut video on Clash Royale and the new game that I'm playing, as well as trying to pick up some members from both House Clear Lake's real-life friends and potential YouTubers, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Clash Royale YouTube videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!